Welcome back to Black and White Banter, ladies and gentlemen, and I've come all the way for this very video for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to Buenos Aires, Argentina. Yeah, that's right. I am in sunny, glorious Argentina for the very first time, but for good reason. I've just been to Brazil. There's a Fluminense match vlog for that one, but this one is a little bit special. I am here to watch Boca Juniors face River Plate in Superclasico, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to watch what is regarded and was once named by The Observer the #1 sporting event in the world out of 50 to attend once in your lifetime. It's bucket list stuff. I'm scared, I'm excited, I'm every emotion you can imagine, but this is what dreams are made of. This is the 265th meeting between the two sides, and when I say this is a fierce rivalry, I back home love Newcastle United versus Sunderland. That is my derby, and that is the one that I look for in the calendar. But I would be lying if I said that this, from watching footage, from speaking to locals in Argentina so far that I've had a chance to talk to, was anything similar. This is the next level of hatred. This means everything to a city and a country where the whole place stops for 90 minutes, where literally pride, passion, you name it, is on the line as soon as those two teams walk out on the football pitch. There are too many stats on this match for me to rhyme off on this video to educate you a little bit more. When I came over here, I just knew it is a fierce rivalry, but there are so many layers of history to this football match that make it even more exciting to be in attendance. This match is generally known as the working class versus the middle class. River Plate, known as the Millionaires, was from a signing in 1931, which was the record signing at the time, and it's a name that's still adopted to this day. Boca Juniors taught River Plate as the Chickens because someone once famously chucked a chicken liver on the pitch in 2011 when they lost the final that they were 2-0 up in, and those sorts of names have stuck. But of course, it's not all fun and games, it's not all just nicknames, it's not all just words. It does get a little bit spicy, and that's adding another layer of both excitement and concern for me as a tourist attending this match. There's been pepper spray into opposing teams' eyes from fans in the stands. Buses have been smashed, and there was even a very awful, tragic stadium incident where over 30 people died a long time ago. Away fans aren't allowed in this match, and that's no surprise. It's too dangerous for them. But for me, going to this, I'm going to go on record and be totally honest with you. I've watched so many videos, the likes of Thogden, the likes of Copper, pages that have millions and millions of subscribers, and I've loved the videos, I've loved seeing their experiences, but I've got a feeling that it's all been with security, it's been with cameramen, and it's been in parts of the stadium that for me, watching it after hearing what people have told me, is just very safe. A lot of tourists and English fans come to this game, as I've already seen on social media in the last couple of days, with tour guides from Argentina who you pay. They get you the ticket, they take you in, they take you to the bar, they introduce you to other fans. We're not doing it that way, and I'm not for a second saying that I'm anything special. I'm just doing it as raw as possible. Getting a ticket, going to a very rowdy high part of La Bombonera, and I know I'm probably butchering the pronunciation there, of Boca Juniors' famous stadium, and seeing what it is like as a tourist, experiencing that noise, that passion, that energy and that hatred as raw as any Argentinian fan could. Now, one thing is weird, and again, I want to be totally honest on this video. I have been told by numerous people now in conversations, in taxis, in bars, enjoying my time in Argentina, that for this match, I should be very careful about sticking my phone out and recording myself speaking in and around the stadium. I think any normal Boca Juniors game, they probably welcome tourists. It's such a big stadium, but for this one, for an English tourist to be in that end, and as a Newcastle fan, I know if I'm going to the Newcastle Sunderland derby, I don't really want to hear an Argentinian recording themselves and vlogging to take back home with them. I want the passionate, raw fans who deserve to be there. So I'm going to be very careful. There's going to be a lot of voiceover work on this one, but first things first, I need a strip. That's better. And I tell you what, this kit, you might be thinking, that doesn't look like their colours. If you just come a bit closer, this one is to celebrate 120 years since the club were formed, 1905. And it is a thing of beauty. Now the shirts are quiet, things are getting really interesting from this point, because to get a ticket for this match is not in your most traditional way. It's not a case of walking to the club shop and picking up one from a ticket seller. We are meeting a random gentleman, and anyone who's interested in coming, as long as this vlog goes okay, I will give you his contact details if you were ever in Boca Juniors and want to go to a match to acquire a ticket. I've got to meet someone, only know him through WhatsApp, but it's just a once in a lifetime as a football fan. I've had the pleasure of going to derbies in Germany, derbies in Poland. I love going to random football matches on top of my one true love, which is obviously Newcastle United, and this felt too much of an opportunity to turn down. So now we need to jump in a taxi and go and meet, I don't even know who, to collect the tickets. And from here onwards, I don't know how this day is going to go. So let's just get into it. Right, in a taxi, and as you can see, I am sweating like a British man in Buenos Aires. We're just going to meet the bloke. He's asked us to meet him in an Italian restaurant. We've gone back and forth. We were trying to get the tickets earlier. He had a guy who was going to drop them on a bike, but it never really materialised. So we're going to meet this guy. Only know him through WhatsApp. Looked at his WhatsApp photo to maybe piece together who it is when we arrive. But yeah, let's hope that this comes through, because this could make or break this video, to be totally honest with you. I'm not going to document anything, because I'm sure he's a very esteemed gentleman in this area who probably doesn't want me recording him handing over tickets for large amounts of money. So let's check back in a couple of minutes and see whether the tickets have been acquired.
A few moments later.
Well, and just like that, we have it in our possession. It's lovely, actually. Lovely little keepsake. Stadium on the back. Perfect. Acquired. Interesting experience. Lovely fella. Asked us, gave us loads of tips, told us how early to try and get in the stadium, which isn't happening, because as I'm recording this, I'm going to be going to watch the Newcastle match with Tsunami Argentina. So the time, I think it's just to make sure that we get a space and it's all safe and sound. But they do open the stadiums over here really early. But he was really accommodating. He offered us a shirt if I needed one. He had a bag full of shirts. So yeah, if anyone wants the details, just let me know. If you comment down below in the comments, I can pass over his number, assuming that this works. But it's even got the match written on the card, which is lovely jubbly. Now the fun part begins. Getting over to the stadium in this taxi. Don't know how long that's going to take. And absorbing a once in a lifetime opportunity. Right, we've just pulled ourselves. As you get closer to the stadium, it calms down, so I've actually been able to pull my phone out. The police have just tried to take our tickets off us, kept them in our hand, told us they weren't real, and a European ran behind me and said, he's changed my ticket and now I can't get in. So Rachel thought very quickly, she speaks Spanish and I don't, and she grabbed the tickets off the security. I don't know whether he sells them, but they definitely target tourists for this match. And luckily, we knew they were real. They looked every bit real. My God, this has been really overwhelming. I've just literally pulled myself into a corner. I've had a half a beer, but I just wanted to keep my wits. It's just, you feel like everyone's looking at you. And as we've been repeatedly told, do not speak your native tongue of English, because it'll just flag up a little bit more. And it's such a high stakes day where it's like, they want blood. They want River Plate blood. Just get me in that stadium now. I don't know what to expect. I'm getting massively overwhelmed.
After the most overwhelming experience walking through all the Boca crowds, as if it was the World Cup final, where I haven't been able to record because I didn't want to stand out like an English sore thumb. We are outside the Boca Stadium and it is so loud. I'm speechless, and it's still 40 minutes till kick-off, and I cannot explain on this video how loud it is. I feel overwhelmed. I don't know what to expect. I feel a bit sick. My God. Right, this gentleman who's looked after us is going to tell us in half time what this match means to the people of Argentina.
Bueno, mi nombre es Leandro, soy de San Francisco Solano, de Buenos Aires, Argentina. Aquí en nuestro país, el fútbol es pasión. Lo llevamos en la sangre, lo llevamos en el corazón, ¿sí? En todo Boca Juniors, Maradona. Aquí desde anoche no dormimos, desde anoche estamos haciendo la previa, hicimos el banderazo y festejamos, ¿sí? Hoy temprano no se desayunó café con leche, se desayunó asado, choripán y fernet. Y hoy estamos acá, le vamos a ganar a River. Nosotros somos los más grandes del país y del mundo. Conquistamos Brasil, Río de Janeiro, conquistamos Miami, en Argentina y en todo el mundo, en la mejor afición, la hinchada de Boca Juniors, el jugador número 12, ¿sí? Los dueños de la historia. Saludos para toda la gente de Inglaterra.
We've had to make an early exit because as much as that was incredible and Boca are winning and it's just an experience I haven't even processed yet, I do not want to be on the top row trying to get out of this stadium, down almost as many stairs as level 7 in St James's Park to get out, and it was really overwhelming coming in. So I don't even want to know after a win how crazy and difficult it will be to leave as an Englishman. So out we go with about 12 minutes to go.
And once again, signing off a massive match day, one of the most incredible match days that I will ever live through, with some fine Argentinian steak. It's known for it. And to be honest, I asked for that medium well. So to get it medium, I think I need to ask for it really well done. But look where I am eating as well. A restaurant full of football history. There is every single shirt on these walls that you could throw at a donkey. I'll give you my full-time thoughts on the experience, the cost, you name it, and whether it was worth it. But for now, I'm just going to dine, drink some lovely red wine. Oh, I'm a poured and I don't even know it. And just taking everything in what has been an absolutely incredible match day in Buenos Aires. Right then, back in the spot where this video started, still in the colours of Boca. I wanted to share my unfiltered, raw thoughts on that. And it's not very often I'm lost for words. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm not a person who is generally struggling to describe something. That was unbelievable. And as a tourist, I'll touch on that first, the build-up. It did feel overwhelming. It did. So many parties in the street, so many times that not in a million years was I going to pull my phone out and start recording myself speaking. That whole tourist fan being at a match like that just felt wrong. I stood out like a sore thumb. Luckily I was in the shirt, which helps you blend in a little bit. It's not like England where people have the Stone Islands, all the brands where you're either a football shirt wearer or you're not. Over here, your football shirt is your skin. So the process of getting in was really, really difficult. trying to blend in. Did I want to be here? Yes. Did I really blur my senses a little bit? No. I wanted my wits kept strictly as strong as possible. There was the issues with the police, which was really, really scary. I know, I wasn't able to record anything. That would have been great footage, but I didn't want to risk my life. A police officer saw our tickets and grabbed them off us, told us they were fake. We were pretty sure they were real. It said it on the match. It was a proper card. It wasn't plastic. It wasn't paper. And he was trying to keep them. And luckily the wits were had by the lovely camera woman who was recording me to grab them, because my Spanish is non-existent. Rachel's is very good. She grabbed them straight off him and we were able to get in. But there was a European who'd had the same problem where his ticket had been replaced and he couldn't get in. I felt so sorry for him. So there was an element, I don't want to use the word corruption, that's chucked around quite a lot, not that extreme, but the coppers definitely target tourists and take the tickets off them, regardless of how much you've paid or where it is. So getting in, there was security, street blocks, you name it. And then once we arrived at the stadium, we were very, very lucky. The gentleman who did the interview, who showed me his tattoos, Leonardo, if you're watching this, you might be, I'll send you the video. I'll send him the video. He was great. He asked us where we were from and he told us straight away to be very quiet, to not make, we were as high as up as you could possibly be in that atmosphere, and he made us aware that wouldn't be welcome. So he allowed us to get a view. He was the most accommodating man in the world. He even offered us a tour of Maradona's house, would you believe? He was incredible. And the atmosphere, the passion, the fact that people go in 4.5 hours early without an alcoholic drink, without any food, crammed in like sardines, the confetti that was all over the floor to celebrate goals, to build the atmosphere, the flag displays, the fireworks. It was everything I expected and a little bit more. Now the match itself, I'm not here to do a Boca River Plate review. That's not what this channel's for. But River Plate, I've read that River Plate are known for their aesthetic football. Their fans don't like scrappy wins. They want to see it. And in the first half, I could see River Plate, I thought, had the better of it. And then the second half, Boca get the goal just before half time from a rebound, which was great. And that noise, as an English fan, I can only describe it as, oh. I've grown up watching La Liga with my mum and dad when it used to be on Sky. And I'd heard that noise when goals went in Spain, and to experience that, but also the passion to be amongst that, to feel it, was incredible. And then the second half, they get another goal, and we left early, and of course we had to leave early. We were very grateful we did, because we managed to get a taxi to a nice quiet area, which was wonderful, to have a drink, to absorb what had happened. But the whole experience from start to finish, football just hits different over here. And yes, I paid a lot of money for the tickets. I think the ticket itself said 30,000, which is about £16. So to put into context, I've paid a lot of money for something that wasn't quite worth it. Was the view that we had great? No. Did we dare go to a seat or a standing area? No. We basically stood in the stairway and that was fine, and we saw it all. But Boca Juniors will always have a place in my heart. The people, the gentleman, Leonardo, who made our experience better by giving us a place to watch. He gave us warnings. But as a tourist, if you are watching this and you are considering going, I'd say go. Would I say do it like we did, where you don't have a guide? I'm going to stand here and honestly say no. I would say do it with a guide. Do it with a local. Do it in a quieter area. Don't go high up amongst the noise. Yes, it was great, but the overwhelming experience before as a tourist for such a big match was almost a little bit much. And I'm sure Rachel, who's very gratefully for me got the phone in her hand right now, would totally agree, and she's just as big a football fan as I am, that it was all just a bit overwhelming, the build up to it and everything. But wow, that is something that will live with me forever. And I really, really hope you've loved this video. Boca Juniors march on, a win for them in the bank. I've met so many amazing people in Argentina. I've met up with Tsunami Argentina, which is going to be on a different video. I've been to a Fluminense game in Brazil, if you want to check that video out. And I would like to hope anyone watching this now has a slightly better feeling of what going to this match is like when it's not in a calmer, quieter area with a tour guide and camera crew and some of the big creators, what I've watched, that have done a great job in the editing, but not really made me feel like that's what it's like to just grab a ticket and go yourself. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to sign off in Spanish because I still don't want to butcher the pronunciation. Boca fans, if you're watching this is a Newcastle channel. That's what you'll see 95% of the time. And any other football fans, if you want to subscribe to me, that's great. Get Black and White Banter across all social media, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm going to go and enjoy a lovely flight home, and I've got Marseille for Newcastle in the Champions League to look forward to. But in terms of a hostile atmosphere, Marseille, I think I've done the best of the best. I'll see you on the next one, and as always, keep the faith. How are the lads?